Welcome back to the Social Seller Podcast with Conor Paulsen, where we interview the world's highest quality communicators, professionals, business owners, creatives, and everything in between. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're a high quality communicator, there's a good chance you're living a lot happier life, but you're also bringing those opportunities into your life almost like a magnet. My guarantee is that on this show, we only interview people that I, one, look up to, and two, that I know are going to continue to kill the game for years to come, and I want to make sure they're on your radar. But what I've learned is by asking the best questions, we get the best responses, and that's what the highest quality communicators, our social sellers, are all about. Let's hop inside to the Social Seller Podcast. Let's go. Welcome back to the Social Seller Podcast. Today's a special episode. Not only are we back in the U.S., we have a good friend, Ryan Stevens, here. Now, not only are you a San Diego native,
Yep.
I'm jealous. I wish I grew up on the beach. Now, you are a next level real estate professional. You are someone that truly lives the social seller values, lifestyle, and take actions align, right? You give back to the community in so many ways. You continue to perform year after year. I mean, you were named Rookie of the Year in 2019.
Yep.
You're Forbes 30 under 30,
Yep.
and the list goes on. You got some kind of award from the local police station? That's
yeah,
awesome.
Challenging award.
Saving kittens from some
Yeah,
trees.
exactly.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad to have you on, brother. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, and I just want to hop in. You and me have known each other for a bit. We're both connectors, and we're both fortunate to have some networks. Your network is interesting. I'm excited to dive in because it seems like you happen to know pretty much everyone. The 5 degrees of network definitely applies to you. Maybe for you, it's more of like 4 degrees in the world. Now, I'd love for you to take over.
Okay.
You grew up in San Diego.
Yep.
How did you get into real estate? Like, bring us up to speed. So what was your upbringing like?
Okay, so when I was 18, 19, 20, I was working 3 jobs and going to school. I was working at Starbucks at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was getting done with that at about 8:30, 9:30. I'd study for a couple hours. I'd get ready for my next job at the hotel, and then I'd work there from, 1 to like 9:30. Then on the weekends, I'd be doing the nightclubs. So it was constantly.
So you worked at a nightclub too?
Yeah.
So you worked Starbucks?
Yeah.
That was your morning shift?
Yep.
So you're a barista?
Yep. I was a
First,
barista.
I did
I
not
used to
know
wear it. It's so humbling because I was wearing an apron. It's so cool just to see where I am today and what I've done to get to where I am today. Because a lot of it's just been humble steps. And it's been amazing to be able to just see the patterns, and now looking back, like how it's destined me to where I am. And to always, hard work is hard work. And don't ever undervalue whatever you're doing right now. You could be making an impact on other people's lives, wherever you are, whether you're a barista at Starbucks, whether you're a promoter at a nightclub, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're, a CFO, like you have impact. So use that and make the best of whatever cards you got.
That's exactly right, man. I love it. You're always smiling. You're always laughing. You're exactly right, though. And I want to backtrack a little bit. So you grew up in San Diego, and that's something I just have a curiosity because I didn't know. First, if you worked at Starbucks, then you'd go work at the club, and what was the in-between job? A hotel?
So I was working at the Sheraton at Harbor Drive.
Weren't you doing valet?
No, so I was a bellman. So it's funny because it was cool because I would shuttle people like a valet person to actually, and this is actually where pivoting into real estate. So I was working at the hotel, and I'm driving people to these 3 really luxurious restaurants: Costera, Island Prime, and Sea Level. My mom, who actually was the rep for all this ginormous restaurant group called the Conor Restaurant Group. Obviously, I knew the owners, previously, but not very well. But now that I'm bringing business to their shop, restaurants, I started getting to know them a lot more. And so one day I'm walking down, and guys, if you ever come to San Diego, you gotta check out Costera, Island Prime, or Sea Level, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
No one will disagree.
So we're walking. I'm walking with the owner down to right on the water. She goes, "Ryan, if you get your real estate license, you'll end up on television one day." I said, "You really believe that?" She goes, "Yes, I truly do." And to this day, I'm working on the commercial, and I've already been on 24 Hour Fitness's TVs. So I've already gotten like that publicity, but like it's just been amazing because what a lot of people don't know is I failed the real estate exam 10 times, passed on my 11th, which is a lot of times, and it just has been crazy because my father, who actually passed his California bar exam the first time and said it was the easiest thing he's ever done in his life, to being obviously for me failing that many times on a test, I was like, what is going on here? I'm like, he seemed to be like, what is hard about it? It's 150 questions, multiple choice. And I would just be like, Dad, I'm telling you, like, I don't know, maybe you dropped me. I don't know. Like, I'm good in other areas, but I've always been really bad at tests.
Yeah.
But again, obviously, and then with saying that, guys, focus on your strengths. Whatever your strengths are, just continue to execute and just continue to focus on those because you can make it great. And once you have that, then whew.
I love it. And I think focusing on our strengths are huge.
Yeah.
And I think it's pivotal when we first get started in self-development.
Exactly.
Right? So let's go back to when you were working at Starbucks as a barista.
Yeah.
You were working as a bellman right after. In the same day, you might work 3 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I was working 18-hour days. It was insane.
But
Some of these
you had
days
the
I was
work
like,
ethic.
holy crap.
Yeah. Now, you talk about strengths. At that time when you were working those 3 jobs that are kind of shitty.
Yeah, I was 100%.
Right? Looking back, but they were a part of it.
They were a part of the process.
What were your top 2 strengths at that time?
Just connecting with people. Connecting with people was my number one. And I loved that. That's what drives.
What does that look like?
Just being able to help people, be of service, have a servant's heart. Because really, I have a quote. I say this to myself all the time. I'm going to pull it up real quick because I truly believe and I live by it. And it is this one right here. I should know it, but it's if you do the right things in life, you'll end up at just the right places at just the right time. And most importantly, if you have the right intentions, then all the right things will blossom. And I truly believe because my intentions, which is the main thing in that, phrase, is just, I really feel like just connecting with people was the number one goal. Servicing people, always be of service. And the quote I live by is, serving the needs of others is the only legitimate business, by Amadio Giannani. He is the founder of Bank of Italy, which is today called Bank of America. And serving people has been one of my greatest traits. And it's been one of the most humbling traits. So, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And now I'm in real estate where I'm servicing people, obviously on a higher level, and it's been amazing.
Yeah. How do you align your values? So you're 25 years old,
Yeah.
and you take action unlike most people. When I met you, I think you're like 21.
Yeah.
Right? And like I say to some friends, it's not everyone, but when I see a young person, I call them a young gun. And I think that's like one of the highest, it's like statements or like compliments you can get, because it's like, I don't even know what the definition is, but young gun is someone that is just taking action, and they have that hustle and they have that grit, and it's a mindset. It's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, mindset. Like, no, I'm still figuring it out. And you can tell they don't, but they're going after it.
You want to know what mine is?
Yeah,
what
is it?
The kid.
The kid.
They call me the kid.
Yeah.
I guess the power is in or it's the kid. But it's the kid, It's funny. I don't know why, but again, it's I don't know why I think it's as such a compliment, but it's like, he's a guy doing it. He's a kid getting it done. So
I don't know many people our age that are volunteering as frequently.
Yeah.
And at 25 years old, I think it's just interesting. It's fascinating. Where do you think in your upbringing that was starting? Was it instilled? Was there someone in your life? Was it a parent, a grandparent, neighbor? Like, where was it where you started giving back, or was it someone that talked about the importance of it? Because obviously you started to feel the value to continue doing it on your own time. Now, what I'm saying, I'm still trying to identify, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You and me are two of the people that I feel like are very consistent about it, and we don't necessarily talk about it that frequently, right?
Yeah.
That are young.
Yeah.
And own businesses, and like are taking those things seriously. So I'm curious, because I'm trying to learn more about myself too.
No worries.
But where was that filter for you?
I think it was coming from such a comfortable life as a young person, and then having my parents divorce when I was 13, which made it so I had to grow up at a very young age, and taking from childhood to manhood a little bit at such a young age, and just being very, very thankful for everything that I had and seeing it all gone in a matter of just 6 months. Like, it was so fast. Just, my dad really was on a rampage. And he, it's weird to see such a powerful person, or, such a successful person, such a stable person, kind of spiral downward in such a fast way. And knowing that, that somebody can lose their own, everything in a matter of, 6 months to a year or however long that takes, but that we have to take everything, just with gratitude and whatever we have. And so I think giving back and being able to now be where I'm at and be able to give back in any way, shape, or form. And life is very short. So it's long, but it's also very short. And you want to try to leave a legacy and, leave something that just, what did you do here on earth? What was your goal? Why did you do that? And like now every year for my birthday, I do something charitable, and I love it. It's been the coolest experience, and COVID's helped me start that. So I'm really excited about that. But I think it's because of just seeing how much I took for granted as a kid, and now seeing how much how life has treated me. I feel like it's just our goal as anybody that's successful to try to help the next man and woman with their lives. I think it's very important.
Right, and I think that's what the highest quality leaders do. Right, it's like if someone's on a fast trajectory of life, I think a good leader looks back and puts their hand out. It's like, no, we're bringing you up, and you especially want to, whether you're the kid or you're the young gun.
Yeah.
People see themselves in you, and they want to help you. They want to guide you. They want to save you some time, some hope, maybe some pain. Now, you talk about the vulnerabilities of going through a divorce. I went through it at 1. Mm-hmm. I think it would be a lot more challenging at 13.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Right? Now, what was the lowest point of your life up to this point? And like, what got you into that? Was it the divorce, or where were you mentally or emotionally kind of the lowest?
Yeah. I've had some really tough lows in my life. I think that was one of them. But it's been amazing because when I was in that lowest of lows time, I really turned to God. And to anybody listening to us right now, I think it's very important, whatever spirituality, whatever religion you are, I think it's very very important to connect with yourself and with your spirituality. I think it's very important. And I just was trying to stay positive, but also I started just really digging deep into my faith and my connection with God, and that really helped me out a lot. And I would have times where I think one of my biggest lows was I was in high school. After my parents' divorce, I switched to different high schools. I was very good at sports, but I couldn't make one friend. So I would literally eat by myself. I'd carry a Bible. Like, it was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, because I had nothing really, and I was losing friends at my old high schools, and I felt so alone at that time. But looking back at it now, and being the man that I am today is just something that really made me thankful for all those times where I had time to really focus on myself, really tunnel, all my, pros and cons that I was fighting with, and just looking back and going, okay, God is with me. I've really put a lot of things into my faith. I really believe, because life is so temporary, we have to be searching, and we have to be open-minded to see, what's out there. So on a spiritual level, which,
Amen,
I don't know, it's guided me in so many directions. Like I tell people all the time, the universe, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. I don't have a 5-year plan because I don't know where God's taking me. Like, I've been on 3 hip-hop tours. I've been all over the place, and I'm like, how the hell did I end up here? But God is clearly, putting me in places as I'm working to make it, to those, putting myself in those, certain situations as well.
Yeah.
So that's been really cool. But
yeah,
with the lows, I just definitely grateful I've been able to power through them with
Amen.
positive and with spiritual reinforcements.
Amen.
So I don't know if
Thank
that's what
you
you're looking
that,
for.
right?
I don't know
That
if
was
that's what you're
exactly
looking
right.
for.
And
Okay.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
And the reason I ask is because I know you're genuinely happy.
Yeah.
But the way you connect with people, I'm starting to figure out. This is my current theory.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want to hear it?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. It's that people that have gone through the most pain, the most adversity, and the quicker you deal with it in life or go through it, and you don't tiptoe around it, right?
Yeah.
You just go right at it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only way to
You
do
gotta
a
run at
challenge
stuff
in life.
sometimes.
You do. And there's lonely periods. I felt lonely. Anyone that knows us for the most part probably wouldn't look at us and think like, oh, they're lonely. But there's those phases, and it's what makes us.
Yeah.
And it's also when we almost look in the mirror with the most authentic lens. We see the truths. I'm not that good of a person in this area, right? And I know I've had a handful of those like real life moments. And when it's me and just me talking to myself, like the second I stop with the excuses, because I'm really good at making excuses, and luckily I'm getting better at it. Just identifying, Connor, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, like
Calling
step
out
up.
your, yeah.
Step up.
It's funny, like I'm sober all the time. As much as people think I'm usually on, drugs or something, because my energy's
around
so
the
high.
party.
Yeah, like
You're not.
and I'm such a high energy that people think I'm on something. But I feel like being sober all the time has helped me obviously eliminate any excuses. I have no excuses like for any of it. Because I'm constantly on. There's no, I guess, I can't have a mistake, or it literally falls on me. There's no, oh, I was lit that day, or I was doing this or that. So I really, to all the viewers watching, I do want to encourage trying to find sobriety in any way, shape, or form is a huge step, because I truly believe once you're focused and once you're so motivated, you have this tunnel vision that makes it so no other sources can, even, affect what you're doing, is a huge factor. Because a lot of people right now, it's Saturday, we're up here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Most people are in bed, either hungover or doing something else, which again, I'm not casting a stone by any means, because again, it's their life, but it's something that really give it a try your best, and don't be peer pressured. I think that was the number one thing that I was always shocked about. People constantly, and I've had, very, hate to name drop, but I've had some very well-known people want to do this, do that with me, with the drug stuff, and I've always turned it down, and it's weird because I've always gotten respect, and more than I would have thought. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy's, I respect him. And so it's really cool if you, try to be a trendsetter. Try to be the person that's just different. But that's because you're being you, which is the most beautiful thing ever, is just being your authentic self.
Right, and they used to say it. They used to say that in high school and things like K through 12, right? Be you, be you. And I was like, what a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, what a load of bullshit.
I listened to that.
But it's true. See, I didn't believe it then, and now I realize to live a congruent and truly happy life. Where like, I realize why you can be such a good person and why you can give love and come from this natural place, because you've done the work. You've gone through the adversity. You've done the work. You've learned the lessons. And when you've dealt with the pains of life, we all have it, right? Adversity. We all have childhood trauma.
Yeah.
The quicker you can identify it and work on it, work through it, magically your life gets a lot better. Like, you're happier. The people around you like you more because you're happier. Magically.
The first problem in solving one is knowing there is one. So identifying whatever's going on in your life, as hard as it may be, is the number one step to trying to get yourself back on your feet. Again, life is not easy, and God does not promise an easy life by any means. So we just have to keep fighting to be free in our minds and in our, physical and the spiritual realm. And you guys gotta just really, we've kind of diverted into this
I love it,
spiritual talk, but no, I really think it's something that has just played such a huge part, guys. Like, I just really want to encourage everybody that's watching this, just whatever your vision is, whatever your goal is, just do it. You got this one life, just do it. I would have never thought I would be where I am today, and I'm so grateful no shot ever taken is ever scored. So why not do it? Why not try? Why not just, the world's a very crazy place right now. And the people that are obviously we see a lot of famous people that are out of control right now. Like, if they can do it, you can do it. I've seen some very unique people. I've met some very unique people that are very successful. If they can do it, you can do it. There's nothing they have that you don't have.
Amen. And when you were talking about failing the real estate exam 10 times, right? That's got to be a little discouraging.
Yeah, people were getting to know me.
Now the statistics are really going against you in this trend. But the thing is there's some common trend amongst the people that continue at it, right? It's all about the grit. It's all about
never giving up,
persistence. No, and like I'm trying to think. So test taking was always a challenge for me.
Always.
I got good grades.
Yeah.
But my rule was I always turn schoolwork in on time, even if it's not the best. Because I saw everyone turn shit in late. And I'm like, why would you do that? You're losing a grade. Like, might as well turn it in. And that's a good mindset that's helped out in business. Now, we talked about spirituality and religion. And my best guess is that you kind of, I see how they play together. I see religion as the narrative and something to follow. And again, I grew up very religious upbringing, and I'm so grateful for it. I see things more on a spiritual basis, how everything just kind of comes together. It's all one. I believe in all the gods, and they're all real, and they're all here, and they're there, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But I also believe that there's this universe, and all of it comes together. They all play together. Now, what I do want to dive into, and I think for someone listening that might be thinking about business, or when you hear Ryan talk about, I've gone through adversity. I in high school, I went through a phase where no one liked me. I didn't have a friend. That was the hardest challenge, and it's funny seeing you now because it's like I feel like you have to have a stick to keep people away.
Yeah.
Because you make people money, you find them their dream homes, and then in between you're making them smile and just feel incredible. So I'm curious though, for someone that might be interested in real estate, like I am, I see it as the investment opportunity, right? But for someone that knows nothing about it but wants to live a better life and is willing to work for it, because I think that's a common trend amongst Oscar, you, Ryan, and myself is we want to live that life, but we're willing to work. For that person that doesn't know anything about real estate, what would you say the core 3 to 5 steps are to kind of getting in? That might not be the traditional route.
Yeah, not the traditional route. Gosh, it's so tough because, I get calls from all types of people, wholesalers, all these different things. I don't dive into those. I really don't. Because again, I just don't specialize in that specific area, wholesaling, all these different real estate trends and little, ways to get it. Obviously, I am very traditional.
So what do you specialize in?
I specialize in really residential, but finding and off-market properties. I crush it with off-market properties, which is huge for investors and buyers, because they're just that's what's made me kind of who I am. Again, I door on to about 15,000 doors a year, and I'm going to be expanding the team this year, which is going to hopefully get us to, I don't even know how many doors, but I'm really excited. But yeah, really off market and investors and obviously buying and selling. And so I keep it kind of on not the basic level, because again, there's so much legality in the contracts, and that's something I've really specialized in as well, is just knowing those contracts so well. Kind of like I don't know if it's the flip or flop guy, or I don't know. But again, knowing your contracts is very huge, because that's how you're able to leverage. But again, anything with knowledge is
there a book
leverageable.
that's foundational in real estate? That's a good place to start. An author, a guy to watch on YouTube.
Yeah, I think selling it like Sharahan. I think Ryan Sharahan has great content. I think The One Thing is a great book as well. I read a lot of books, so I love reading books. So I think those two would be a great start. I think to get into real estate, I tell everybody should get into real estate. Everybody should have the real estate license. The real estate license is the second most used license besides your California driver's license. So a lot of people, the competition's everywhere. There's about 35,000 agents just in San Diego. But there's still so much business out there for everybody. And only, the top 10% are doing any business. 90% of agents aren't doing any business at all. It's crazy. Wow. So I'm very thankful to be a part of that, percentile. the 10%. And
Why
that's
are the
the
90% not doing business?
I think because